Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So if you're watching this video, you're probably feeling a little bit let down by Etsy. You're probably feeling like you just want to give up. Nothing is working for you. You've tried all of these tips and tricks. You're watching videos, reading blog posts, taking courses, and nothing is working for you. Well, I'm here to basically grab you by the hand, give you a virtual hug and say it's okay. It is okay. We can try really hard sometimes, really hard. And a lot of times when we are striving for perfection, we are striving for a goal, we actually forget to just, number one, enjoy the journey in the first place, and number two, we fail to see the obvious. When we're trying really hard, we fail to see the obvious. And as creative people, which I know that you are, it's really hard as creatives to force inspiration, to force creativity, to force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. And believe me, we have all been there. I have been there. I remember being in tears, sat at my desk trying to do my taxes. I hate doing taxes. I do not understand. I understand numbers and I get maths and I love talking and calculating money, but I do not like having to find out different information from different places and having to redo it all again. But long story short, I did outsource that in the end. It did cost me some money, but my God, it was worth it because honestly, guys, it just really was. But if you're not at that stage yet where you can outsource things that you don't like to do, I just want to give you a kind of silver lining. I just want to let you know that you might be sat there thinking right now that maybe you can't make a full-time income on your Etsy shop. Maybe Etsy shops are only for buyers in the US and you just can't ship there. Maybe you're thinking that Etsy is just not for you and you can't make it work and maybe you should just go and do craft shows instead. And I'm here to say, actually, Etsy can work for you. I'm here to say that I have done it. I have been in the realms of when Etsy changed their search algorithm and the Etsy ads thing, and when they increased their fees and commissions and what have you. I have been through all of that, and I've been silently listening and watching to all of the Etsy shops that have left in their droves and given up. And to be honest with you, that is such a shame, because although Etsy is a platform that has its pros and has its cons, and I have talked about this in a previous video, but what I'm here to say is that at the end of the day, Etsy is here for you to start your business. It's so easy to start an Etsy shop and starting to make sales. And just on that note, if you haven't downloaded my 30 Days to a Kickbutt Etsy shop workbook, it's in the description box below. You guys absolutely freaking love this workbook. It's 76 pages worth of free information, so go and grab that. And also, if you haven't already, please join the Facebook group. That will also be in the description box below. I do live trainings in there every single week, and it's for free as well. And that kind of leads me on to my first point, is that if you are thinking of giving up, the best way to get yourself out of a funk, to get yourself out of a slump, is to invest in education. Now, I'm not saying monetary, not straight off the bat. Literally, I've just given you two ways that you can start to educate yourself: a free workbook and a free Facebook group where I go live every single week. That is a fantastic starting point. Yes, you will have to invest money in education at some point to take your Etsy shop from down here to up here. I'm not going to lie to you and say that that is not a possibility. That is something that you will probably have to do. But to start with, you do not. To start with, you just have to invest time. And if you're sat there thinking, I'm not getting sales on my shop and I don't know why, and I keep taking advice from this person and that person and this person, listen, stop, take a breath, and let's just go through this together. I am here as your Etsy coach. I am here, I've done it myself. I am not one of these Etsy gurus that try to teach you that don't actually have an Etsy shop, or even worse, has an Etsy shop that doesn't make sales. I am a full-time Etsy shop owner. I've given you guys tours of my shop. You have seen my shop, you've seen my stats, the back end, all of the nitty-gritty I've shown you guys, and I am here for you. And I'm telling you, stop watching all of the Etsy videos. Stick with one person. Stick with me. Basically, if you are watching other Etsy videos and blogs and things like that, just stick with one. It doesn't have to be me. If you don't like the way I teach, or you just don't like my hair or my face, then don't stick with me. But just stick with one. And I would implore you to invest your time in education, because honestly, guys, that is the best way to elevate yourself and get yourself out of a slump. The second point is that Etsy does take time. Now, on a kind of literal level, Etsy will take between 30 to some cases 90 days for the Etsy bots, basically the little bots that crawl your store, to kind of tell Etsy and the Etsy algorithm where you should be appearing in the search. But it does take about 30 to 90 days for those bots to find your shop, to put you in the right place, and even realize that your shop actually exists. So don't feel sad if you've had your Etsy shop for 2 weeks, a month, maybe even 6 weeks, and you've not got any sales and your views are a bit pants, because honestly guys, it does take that long anyway. And also Etsy takes time because it is a very fierce learning curve, and again, that's why I say invest your time and money in education, because that will get you there quicker. But Etsy does take time, and if you have never had a business before, it will take time before you have the mindset of a business owner, not just a crafter. If you are if you are here and you are watching this video, then you obviously want to make this into a business, because that is what my YouTube channel is for. And guys, whether it is a side hustle, whether you want it to be your full-time business, it doesn't matter. You need the same mindset. You need the same motivation and inspiration that sometimes we all need. A big kick in the butt sometimes, even I do. So I just want to let you know that Etsy does take time, and not just for a, learning about Etsy standpoint. It takes time because you need to change your mindset. And as well, it just takes time for you to just get into the runnings of knowing how to schedule your time and knowing where to invest your time in more. All of this takes time. It's a process. Honestly, guys, it is a process. And I would not be worried if I was starting an Etsy shop all over again. If I was literally starting again from scratch and I could give myself one piece of advice, it would be, if you're 6 months in and you haven't made any sales yet, that is a-okay. That is absolutely fine. All it means is that you just need to start spending a little more time in education rather than watching Netflix or going to the gym or something like that. Guys, you are investing in your financial freedom future. You need to invest time into educating yourself about your Etsy shop. And this leads me on to my last point, is that your Etsy shop is a very, 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 very big stepping stone to your financial freedom future. Basically, you being financially free in the future, earning the wage that you earn from your 9 to 5 that maybe you hate through your Etsy shop. Perhaps being able to pay the mortgage through your Etsy side hustle. Have a goal in mind. If you are not sure what to do, you just want to make 10 sales or 20 sales or 1,000 sales, that's great, but what's the emotion driving you? What is the emotional reason that you have this Etsy shop? Is it so you can take your mum on holiday with you? Is it so that you can afford to pay the rent or the mortgage? Is it so you can afford to go out for dinner with your husband and spend quality time with him once a week? Is it so you and your partner can go on days out to zoos, to Disneyland, to wherever? What is the emotional reason, and why do you want this Etsy shop to work so badly? It's a good thing to actually sit down and really have a word with yourself and check yourself and say, okay, why do I want this so much, and why is it so important to me? Because believe it or not, if you're feeling like you're failing and you're feeling really bummed out by it, that is a good thing, because that is an indication that you are passionate about this, and there is a reason as to why you're passionate about this. And rediscovering your big why is something that will literally give you a kick up the butt. It will make you realize what needs to be done and why you want to do it. And the very last point is a very practical point, but once you have that big why and that big goal, try reverse engineering it. So try imagining that you are where you want to be. So let's say, for example, that you want to make an extra $1,000 a month or £1,000 a month. So that will be up here. Now you have to reverse engineer your goal. So to get $1,000 a month, what would you need to do? Well, I need to make 100 sales a month. Okay, fab. How can I make 100 sales a month? Well, I can invest in Etsy ads. Okay, great. How do I invest in Etsy ads the right way? Well, I need to make sure that my listings that I am advertising convert really well. Okay, well, how can I make them convert really well? I can educate myself about conversion rates and watch Steph's videos. There we go. We've just reversed engineered a goal, and there's obviously branches off of that as well. So it's not just Etsy ads. It can be maybe branch off into here where you say, okay, I need to make a VIP Facebook group, and I need to know how to go live and how to educate my audience about my product. Or I can go on Instagram and make sure to do Instagram live every day. You can reverse engineer any goal into multiple different branches, and that is all about goal planning. Guys, grab a piece of paper Do a mind map if you want. Put your big goal in the middle and do branches off of it. How are you going to make that goal happen? And that is the basics of it. It really is, guys. If you feel like you want to give up on your Etsy shop, don't. First of all, take a break if you want to. There is no shame in having an unproductive day, an unproductive week. We are human beings. Our brains and our physical bodies sometimes need rest, and our emotions need rest too. If we are constantly bashing ourselves saying, come on, Steph, you need to be doing this. Come on. Guys, we just need to rest sometimes, and that is A-okay. Spend a day or even a week sat on the couch watching films, and then just say to yourself, I'm going to start slow. I'm going to recheck myself. I'm going to bring myself back into the pits and I'm going to check myself before I wreck myself, and I'm going to go through my goals again and make sure that I am on the right track. And guys, that is all I do when I am feeling like I am in a funk. Those times before when I just really felt like my Etsy shop wasn't working for me, we're talking back in 2014 now, there was a good six month period where I just wasn't really feeling it. I didn't really know what I wanted out of my Etsy shop, and I did this exact process, and I am where I am now, and I want you guys to be there as well. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more Etsy education and Etsy tips and tricks and videos and wonderful things like that. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye!